everyone, my name's Josh. Today I'm going to be showing you how to download, install, and run VirtualBox. So first off, we're going to want to download VirtualBox. Go to Google and type in VirtualBox. It'll be the easiest way. There's a link right here. You can just click downloads to go straight to the download section of the website. Anyway, we're going to be presented here with 4 options: the Windows, OS X, Linux, and Solaris. In my case, I'm going to be using Windows, so I'll just hit this x86 and 64 link right here. Hit save file, and it will begin downloading. So we'll just wait here for a short period while it downloads. Alright, now VirtualBox is downloaded all the way. We'll go ahead and run it. We'll go ahead and click that installer we have there, and we'll just go ahead and hit run. So it's going to pop it up, and it will hit next. We will install all the components. Now you can decide if you want to create a shortcut and create a shortcut on the quick launch bar. That's your decision, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. You get this warning here about network interference, or interface, sorry. It's just saying you might get a minor disconnect while installing the program while it installs its network drivers. But in my experience, I've never really seen that, so we'll go ahead and click yes. Install. It'll probably ask for administrative privileges right here if you're on Vista or Windows 7 right now. We'll click yes, and once it gets those privileges, it'll commence installing, and it's pretty quick during the install. Alright, now it's finished installing. If you have that check mark there, and once you hit finish, it will automatically launch VirtualBox, and it'll pop up in just a sec. Probably click that link right there. That's alright. That's an old virtual hard drive I installed, so that's alright if that's not accessible. This is an old machine I've created. The settings have carried over to the new installation. We'll go ahead and delete all files. Now we're going to go ahead and create a new machine. Click next. Neat thing right here is if you're not using XP or you want to use some kind of Linux distribution, you can type in Ubuntu, for instance, and it will automatically select the appropriate version of Linux. But in our case, we're just going to install XP. I'm just going to call this XP VirtualBox demo. Go ahead and click next. Now here it's going to ask you how much RAM or memory you want to allocate to this operating system. In most cases, if you have enough, I would give it 1.5 gigabytes, which here would be 1,536. Okay, we'll hit next. Now we're going to create a new virtual hard drive. It'll open up the new virtual disk wizard. Click next. Now here it'll ask you if you want to use a dynamically expanding storage or fixed size storage. The difference between dynamic and fixed is that dynamic starts out small and it expands to fit the need, For instance, whenever you put data into the dynamic hard drive, it will actually expand on your physical hard drive till it reaches the limit you set. Whereas fixed size storage, it automatically just takes up whatever amount of capacity you allow it to. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and click dynamically expanding. We'll just name it XPVB demo, and we're going to make it 15 gigabytes. So we'll click next. Okay, click finish. All right, and now we have our base system created. We're going to go ahead and hit start. Oh, before we do that, I would like to show you one thing in setting that's you might find interesting. Under the system right here, if you go to processor, if you have a multi-core processor, it's like probably a 4 or 6 core processor. I know some AMDs actually have 3 cores in the processors, but if you have above a 2-core processor, you can assign more than 1 core to your VirtualBox to boost its performance. But in my case right now, I'm just using my laptop, and it's just a dual-core processor, so we're just going to set it to 1. So just click OK. Just thought that might be interesting to anybody if they wanted more performance out of their virtual machine. So we'll go ahead and click Start. It's going to begin the first run wizard. We'll click Next. Right here, you can slide a DVD into your optical drive and point this towards your optical drive. But in my case, I'm just going to use an ISO file. I have one stored in my documents here called XP Home, right here. We're going to click Next, Finish, and it'll start. Alright, so now we're in the Windows setup screen. It's going to load all the Windows files. It'll probably take a couple minutes. Or not. It might just pop up in just a second. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and click Enter. This is, if you've seen it before, this is the basic Windows XP setup you would normally get. You can read those terms and conditions. If you agree, you can of course press F8. I agree. And as you can see here, we have an unpartitioned hard drive, which gives us 15 gigabytes roughly. We're going to go ahead and click Enter to install Windows to it, and I would suggest using NTFS Quick. If you use, I know FAT, it doesn't allow you to store, I'm not sure the exact amount, but I think it's 700 megabytes, but don't quote me on that. So I would use NTFS. Also, if you use the non-quick format, it's going to take quite some time. So I usually just hit quick. It's going to start formatting right here. The format really doesn't take that long at all. Okay. And I'll start copying files right here. Since we're using an ISO, it's going to be a little bit faster than using a physical disk, because it's on the hard drive and it can be called from the hard drive a lot quicker than it can be read from an optical drive.